Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Orange Road. So today I want to look at how you can kickstart your Undying Dynasties army. And with that I mean a cheap way to get the bulk of your army in one go. So this video is mostly meant for people who want to try out the army without spending a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money, on the second-hand market for old Games Workshop models, because they are going for a lot of money at the moment. From what I understand is that the Tomb King army is quite popular in Age of Sigmar. There are no models for it anymore officially, so people are buying it up left and right. I've seen the casket go for like 130 euros, ridiculous prices. So this episode is about how you, the new player, or just somebody who wants to try out the Undying Dynasties, can get his hand on the models. So I should also mention TMS. I will also do a video about TMS, their range for the Undying Dynasties. The problem is that they are still somewhat in the Kickstarter phase, and I'm having trouble to find decent images of their models. I believe that they are quite well quality-wise, but like I said, I can't really judge them at the moment, and that's not the way I want to do a review. Also, I've actually had these models from the Undying Dynasties from Mantics in my hands, so at least I can give them a fair review. So let's start with the contents of the box I'll be talking about. It's the Empire of Dust Mega Army, and it's 125 euros or $100 or like 112 pounds or something. And don't forget, you'll have to order it, or do as I do and just get your friendly local gaming store to order it for you. So for that 125 euros, and I'm gonna talk in euros because hey, I live there, you get 114 plastic and metal miniatures. So it's right off the bat, this is cheap. So here is a list of everything you'll get. So you'll get 40 plastic and metal skeleton warriors. You'll get 20 plastic skeleton archers with metal parts. You'll get 20 Revenant Infantry, 20 premium plastic mummies, 3 enslaved guardians, 3 swarms, 2 balefire catapults, 1 pharaoh, and 1 Revenant champion / army standard bearer, and with a ton of bases. So this is not your complete army. You'll need more stuff, let's be honest, but it's a really good place to start. The things I'm missing the most in this list is of course the monster stuff. You don't have the big kitties, you don't have the skeleton giant, you don't have a casket, but those are all things you can convert out of different models. So I think you should be able to get those models quite cheaply and quite simple anyway, and at least a lot easier than just getting a lot of Egyptian themed skeletons. And there goes my camera. Damn that cat. So let's have a look at the models themselves. So here we have an overview of some of the stuff in the kit. I'll give a review from the models from experience a little bit later in the video. So first up here we have those Revenant Mummies. I quite like these guys. How to use them, of course, is a different question. I would probably use them for the special unit because they do look badass. And if you're going for hand weapon shield anyway, it's a good pick. You might want to remove the shields and go for paired weapons or great weapons, but for a cheap way to start, this is a pretty decent choice. Then we get to the archers. There are only 20 of them in this box, and I quite like these guys. They've got enough stuff on them to... Let me put it like this, I don't like the old Games Workshop archers because they were pretty much just bones with a little head and an arrow and a bow. These guys have a lot more flair, a lot more stuff. You can highlight the clothes, and I think they'll probably be easier to paint, because one of the problems I always find with the Undying Dynasties, and especially Games Workshop models, it's easy to make them look pretty decent. Just make him bone, give him wash, etc. But making them look cool is quite difficult. And I think with Mantic it will be the other way around. I think it's quite hard to get a decent level with them, but it'll be a lot easier to make them stand out. So yeah. Then we get to the next slide, and these are their Monstrous Infantry. So these are the guys with the bows. They also have a great weapon option. I think it's all in the kit, in the box. Only 3 of them. Like I said, it's just the beginning of your army. I would not ever go for just units of 3 or a single unit of 3, but it's a good way to start. And you can buy them separately as well. Let me have a quick look at what they usually cost, because now I am of course quite curious. They're usually $27.50 for 3. So yeah, buying an extra box will probably get you enough to get a nice unit. And let's be honest, you could just buy this box twice, because the catapults are... yeah, you don't need 4 of them, but you'll get a lot of the other stuff as well. Or you can look at the Empire of Dust other armies. They have quite some options. So let's look at the next unit we get here, and it's these core skeletons. So I really like these guys. They're quite dynamic. They have a lot of kit on them. Again, it makes them look a lot cooler on a table. Again, they'll probably be a bit more difficult to paint, but these guys have a lot more flavor than the old Games Workshop models. Then we get to the Catapult, and I don't like this model, I'll be frank. You can use it, there's nothing wrong with it on its own, but it just looks goofy to me. Personal taste, because I do like this scarab in front, but yeah, it's just the execution, not my style. So then we get to these guys, and I'm not quite certain how I would use them. So these are the Revenant regime, and they of course have the different weapon option with the halberds. Yeah, you could use them as your own tomb guard, of course, instead of the mummies. I think it depends on your weapon choice. Not really sold on the weapons, to be honest, but hey, they're still a cool unit. I just like the mummies more. But if you're looking at an easy way to get your army started, they're probably the better pick. Let's see how many of them you exactly get in this army. You're getting 20 of them. Yeah, so yeah, it's quite a decent start of your unit. Same goes for mummies. You also get 20. Yeah, you've got options here. Again, you could even mix and match, but that probably would not really look decent. But yeah, like I said, it's a good start of the army. Then we get to the Standard Bearer, and this is one of their hero models. I'm not sold on this guy, I'll be frank. It looks like just a regular unit guy, a regular Standard Bearer. Not a fan, but like I said, it's a great way to start again. Then we get to the Wizard, and let's see how they're calling this guy. They're calling him the Pharaoh / High Priest with alternate combinations. So yeah, you can also give him a sword or paired weapons, a different headset. I like this guy a lot more. He has a little bit more flair than the rest. So yeah, not too shabby. So like I said, I've actually held these models in my hands and talked to the guy that was painting them and converting them. He said that the quality was reasonable. He did have one bad cast in the set. I don't have pictures of it because this is like 6-7 months ago. Perhaps 4, not quite certain. But he did say they went quite nicely together. The biggest problem was just ranking these guys up. But seeing them on the table, they looked pretty cool for Mantic. And that sounds like I'm dissing them, but I don't want to diss them. For the quality you're getting for the price, it's amazing. It's almost ridiculous, to be honest. Yeah, they're not the best models on the market, and TMS models do have a lot more flair, especially the bigger stuff, but you can't go wrong if you just want to have a cheap little army as a side project. So, and let's be honest, compared to a lot of the other Mantic stuff, I really like these guys. Alright everybody, thanks for listening. If you want to start an Undying Dynasties army, like I said, try Mantic out, or just buy one of the smaller boxes and see if you like the models in the flesh. Mantic has a very unusual painting style, I find, on the site, and it sometimes makes the models look worse online than they do in person. Again, just my opinion. I'm a really bad painter myself, so I shouldn't judge. Alright, thanks for listening, and I'll see you all on the next show of the Orange Road. Bye!